So hello everybody and welcome back to another conversation about how to save energy. So energy is becoming a bigger crisis more and more. From
Mm,
we find it harder to create energy safely for our planet. We can do it from renewable source or but mostly from unrenewable source. So we will talk about how we can save some of that energy from each person to a family to even a city or a country. So let's start with Poom, who will be presenting about how an individual can do this thing. Mr. Poom, are you there?
okay, Mr. Firm. I will tell about the simple thing that you can save the energy in your house or in your ordinary life. So first, I start in the very easy one. Is turning off the lights when you living room or when you not here. Many people in the country or in the city forget to turn off the light when they leave the home. So that caused a lot of bad things such as global warming to the earth, and it's also cost you money to spend the electric cost. Okay, move toward to number two. Use LED lights. LED lights. Many homes are moving towards smart LED light as they're not only look stylish and affordable, but are also way more efficient than halogen bulb. Move to number three. Unplug David. Unplug David, such as laptop, computer, or MacBook. Yes, uh, laptop and computer use a lot of electric because of the power supply. If you are turning on the laptop or computer, it will make up a lot of global warming to the earth. Know that? So please turn off it.
Okay.
So that is all I can tell.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Poom, for what I can gather from the information he just said. Right. So nowadays not good enough for you to just turn off the light. You have to change the light bulb in your house into a more energy efficient one. And not just that, when you turn off your computer, turn off your phone, you need to unplug it now because that can save more energy. A little bit
Yeah.
or more or a lot that depend on how much you use it. So thank you, Mr. Poom.
Yeah.
So let's move on to more than an individual can do. A group, a family, a group of friends can do or something. Or that. Mr. Na, are you here?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Na. Let's let's get you started.
So basically, for a group, right, that we can save energy something. Let's just start with a baby step. First off, just a little tiny thing that people look over it. Turn off the electric fan or just stop using light bulb and using natural sources instead. Like the wind from you opening the window or just the sun.
Huh.
You can use it as a natural light source in afternoon, evening, anything. Just use more natural sources. Another thing, use electric car instead of diesel car. First, first you might think that use electric car means use more energy to charge the car. But in the long term, it's gonna be more beneficial because you can use that diesel in the vehicle to power generator instead and make more energy, not just use in car. Because electric car use less electric than like open air conditioning like for an hour or two. So I think use electric car more would be good. Also another thing to mention is use public transport. it's kind of same idea of not using a diesel vehicle, or maybe use a bike just to travel around. Like you go to the market or you go to a nearby mall, you can just take a bike, ride around, see the view around you. Yeah, I think that is what most of the group can do or a family can do.
Ah, interesting. Interesting point. So thank you, Mr. Nana. And I will summary it up a bit. So what you're saying is, more than just turn off the lights. Sometimes you don't need to be in darkness, right? Just
Yeah,
open the curtain, easy. And more than that, everybody, I think everybody here and their parents use public transportation, right?
indeed.
We can use more of it, but in our situation in Thailand here, sometimes public transportation can be inefficient. You know, it takes a long time for you to get a place to another place, but it can be nice to save some energy. So can make some policy to change that, or even just change the diesel public transport into electric transport, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting. So more now, let's move on to a bigger picture now. Then more than a group of people, many group of people turn into a city, turn into a community. So let's go to Mr. Sao. Mr. Sao.
Okay. Okay, for community, first of all, is for community is kind of similar to Mr. Nana opinion, but in a bigger scale. Like for example, from using natural sources to a cleaner and more rely more on natural resources, such as like wind turbine, solar panel, and water dam. But for a water dam, I do not recommend using it because it can damage the environment. But you can use it if your city needs it. Next one. For the community scale, we need to encourage people to use more clean energy, such as like electric car or electric bus. And therefore, we need to provide more electric bus or electric transportation and try to use less diesel or fossil energy base. And the next step is important for every family to do. We need you to encourage your little tech guy, like your son, your daughter, whatever. We need to encourage next generation to invent new technology so that we can combine new technology with a clean energy. For example, use solar cell panel with LED for a street light, and use more solar cell panel on electric car, electric bus, or even government building, for example. But we need to be more careful for a solar panel, because if we use too much solar panel, it can create a waste that really hard to get rid of. And next step, we need to provide more reliable sources energy. Okay. Now next step that we need to do is kind of get rid of unnecessary thing like old tech or some unnecessary street lights. For example, in Thailand, in some places there are too much street lights. It's unnecessary. We need to get rid of it because it's used more energy than it necessary, more than it necessary. Sorry. So I think that's it for me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sao. So, you are for the community, right? Let's summarize that a bit. So, for the community is a lot of things, kind of similar to Mr. Nana, in the term of
Yes.
but in the bigger scale, right? Let's say it that way. But like we cannot totally change it in one day. We can slowly change our car, public transport into more electric based energy. And what about street ride? Right? Street ride in in more urban area or in the outskirts, not in the city. There is a lot of street light that unnecessary or old that consume a lot of energy. And you
Correct.
say what about solar panel, right? The bad thing about solar panel is it can create more waste than it save, right? Sometimes. Yeah, that's quite
Maybe.
interesting.
Yeah.
Lastly, we are gonna talk about we already talk about individual, our group, our community, and let's talk about our country. So, our country, right? We are not a rich country to say the least. To say the least, our country is quite on the scale of rich to poor. It's quite poor in the money scale because many of our money didn't go to the right place. But we can help invent a new policy if possible to encourage young people like us or our children when we have them to invent some new and interesting way to save energy. Maybe the way we think nowadays is can we change it slowly to our way of life that doesn't involve so much electricity. Because everywhere you go, there is always electricity follow you. And to help with that, a lot of factory and a lot of school, a lot of place that use a lot of energy really is not come from the city the most. It's mostly come from the countryside. From the countryside, people there we may think use less energy, but people there isn't as isn't as technology their technology isn't as high as us, so they use less efficient light source, less efficient television, less efficient radio. We can help them by improving their life. So we can help them our property so they can afford a better TV or better LED lights so they can improve their life. When after that we help the lower class of our society, then we may move on to help the main city about their energy problem. We all know about turning off the light. We all know about electric car. But the main thing that consume a lot of energy in our country is, of course, air conditioning. Everybody in their home in Thailand have air conditioning. But sometimes, if possible, if the home, the infrastructure of the country is built better, built to not keep the heat in the house, but to release it and keep the cold. Maybe if that is possible, to change the way we build building homes, houses, into a more efficient place where we don't need air conditioning. Maybe we may only need air conditioning for the summer, and then the rest of the year we can turn it off. So that may be a chance to save a lot of energy. And after we can save save a lot of our energies, we can be an example for country surround us. So there may be a chance they follow the way of our step and turn into a country that use less energy, and so their neighbor, and just it's going to be a chain reaction if possible. That would be nice if that happened. So I think that's covered all of it. Any of you want to give some opinion before we go? I guess no.